Good afternoon, gentlemen. Today we will be talking on an important topic, what was how to uh, get over the bad experiences that we have had. We all know throughout life, we all had many experiences which may not be liked by us. And the pain that we have suffered because of that bad experience always haunts us. As a result, there must be certain technique available to forget those bad experiences and move ahead. That is what is most important. Two techniques, what we call a defense mechanism, are automatically takes care of the bad experiences. They call it suppression and repression. Repression is one of the defense mechanism in which a person unconsciously forgets the bad experience and moves ahead. Whereas suppression is a forceful forgetting of a bad experience or an event, which you may like to come back sometime or other, or you may like to forget it permanently, depending upon the situation that evolves. But these two technique of suppression and repression is automatic, as we call it, ego defense mechanism, because we have developed, depending upon each individual's personality, one of the defense mechanism comes up, depending upon the usage that he puts to. Today, we will be talking about how two techniques, which even talked about it, two techniques of turning bad experience into good ones. And that is most important. That is most important. The two techniques, they call it cognitive reappraisal and redeeming the past with what we call is storytelling. Now, let's recollect back. In all of us, irrespective of individual, we have had not so good experiences, which may at times be traumatizing, maybe serious, and it haunts us. We would like to get over those bad experiences, maybe during the childhood exploitation, to bully that people are in and around, or so many other events that puts that experience not good. Okay, so the first, it was Van Epps and Tansilito, in his current opinion, psychologist argues that cognitive reappraisal technique and story can help us cope more effectively with negative experiences that we have had. First, let's talk about cognitive reappraisal. Cognitive, you're using a head. I want to neutralize it, just like in an acid, base, and salt. If you want to neutralize acid, you like to put a base so that it becomes a neutral. Similarly, if we had a bad experience, then we would like to neutralize it, and so as to create the happiness which we would be anchoring or we would be wanting to come back. It involves upsetting occurrences a new meaning. You have to give a new meaning or de-emphasizing the stressful properties. Let's say we had some painful, embarrassing, or unsettling events in our life. Say, someone has met with a serious accident. And in spite of serious accident that you have met, your all limbs are right, and you have still survived, though you have gone through the pain. So what do you think? Now in our term, we call it grah katiya. Matlab kya? There are the small events in life which has prevented me from getting the bigger problems. That's one way. That is just you are trying to console yourself. Yes, I have come out with a problem, and by paying a small amount of penalty for it, I would be a better person tomorrow. So that's otherwise probably the accident would have been more fatal. We may have lost our limbs or other aspects. Okay. So cognitive reappraisal helps us to change our feeling about events by changing our assumptions and interpretation. So it simply tells that we must look at the positive aspect of even the worst thing. Even the worst scenario, you would like to take some advantage of. In our Hindi term, we call bhakti chokal lagote hi sahi. As if we are losing, kuch to pakdo, take some advantage of it. We have had a bad experience. That doesn't mean that we are lost, we have gone. Let's take advantage of whatever is available. So this is what is reappraisal simply means in those particular terms. Changing the interpretation of stressful occurrences will reduce our negative emotional impact. Second is way of neutralizing, redeeming the past with storytelling. What is storytelling? Storytelling every day, what we talk, what we do, yeah, we are doing only storytelling only. When we talk to our friends, we are talking about the past. We are talking to our parents, we are talking what has happened. When we're talking to our, say, family, we are talking what is there and what outcome should be. So every day, every moment of our life, we are telling a story. So we must learn to tell a good story to ourselves. That is what it really simply amounts to. Okay. It simply repackages the unfavorable experiences so that the bad experience of the past is redeemed, is gone. I want to discard those bad experiences so that these bad experiences do not influence my future decisions. Now, let's talk about it. Today, we all talk about AI, artificial intelligence. Now, let's talk that we want someone who's enterprising enough. He wants to start a venture or start a company on AI, probably. It's all possible today with the startup, and all sorts of facilities which are available in our country. Any person can afford to become an entrepreneur. How did Ambani become a big man from a simple man to one of the biggest industries in the country? So now the problem comes up, does he have the risk-taking capabilities? Now, as any risk-taking activities, you would always imagine if you had a psychic power, if you had that power to imagine what is going to be negative in future about this venture that you want to start, maybe funds that you are seeking on may not be available. You may expect a lot of losses, which you may not be in a position to compensate for. You may have many competitors. So all these events will dissuade you from venturing out. And if you had that negative set of mind, then what will happen? Your optimism, which you had in starting a new venture, it will dwindle, it will come down. The spark that you had gets reduced to quite an extent. It may be even the fear of failure, cost benefit analysis overlooks is the storytelling value of the entrepreneurship itself. What does it mean? So if you, it's that fear of failure which is preventing you from going ahead or thinking ahead or becoming a great entrepreneur in artificial intelligence. Okay, but imagine what would be the case if you succeed. Someone, all those people who have set up industries or set up empire, they have all started small. Somewhere, sometime he may not have been there. His forefathers have done it. So if they can do it, why can't you do it? So that is what is the story you have to tell yourself. I can also be successful. Okay. In other words, so what happens around there when we have got negativity around there? So we ignore the potential benefit of. Say even if I don't make it, what will happen? What will happen? I'll lose, but I'll get experience, isn't it? It will give that this I have tried. Benjamin Franklin has said that I have not been a failure. I have tried 99 ways of doing the same thing. Ultimately, in 100th attempt, he could afford to discover a bulb. So, even if you try and become entrepreneur in artificial intelligence, you will have a sense of achievement. You have broken the technical barrier, and probably never know. You never know that probably you may be the next Bill Gates or even the Reliance in future, or the, what the children may be enjoying the fruit like Reliance people are having now. Okay, what? What happens if I don't succeed? There's no problem. It may be that I have planned to do something and it is not going as per plan. Again, what is story? A story is cannot be a story without tension and conflicts. So they cannot be succeed without challenge and difficulties. I cannot be sitting on my bed and trying to do something great. So storytelling is a versatile technique because not all good stories serve the same function. Some perform where others persuade or warn. Means what? Some provide entertainment. So stories are of different types. Some stories gives you information. Some strong stories gives no persuades us to do something different. Some story gives us no warning that they are the pitfalls which are going to come across. Some story provide entertainment. So there is a value in sharing the story of your experience, both positive and negative ones. And if we can afford to do it, certainly the two techniques, the reappraisal and storytelling, can help reframe our unpleasant experiences. Cognitive reappraisal and story are the two psychological techniques that can neutralize our past unhappiness, which has happened because of the trauma that we have had, bad experience that we have had. Now, cognitive reappraisal refers to reframing a situation in a positive way. So you have to look at the everything. They must look, even in the worst scenario, there must be something positive. Look at the positive. Secondly, story involves packaging the memories, even negative ones, into narrative with a positive function, so that you are becoming more and more optimistic. So, gentlemen, if we can afford to master these two techniques, we can afford to get over the bad experiences that we generally we would have. All of us we would have had the bad experience in some form or the other. Someone may be having very intense bad experience. Someone may be slightly less, but it does bother us. So, gentlemen, there are the two ways in which we can afford to get over our past trauma, past difficulty, past bad experience, and move ahead in our life. Hope that meets your aspiration and the new way of looking at it. Thank you.